Alright everybody, so you've all been very curious as to exactly how much my Ironman is worth. It's I think 2.5, nearly 3 years old now, and it's about this much apparently, 92 billion GP worth of stuff, so couldn't quite get the 100 unfortunately, but it is what it is. But let's open Sesame the bank, and we can have a little deep dive, see what's going on. Full disclaimer, my bank is organized in a unique way that many will disagree with. Chronological order is a big theme, but it's fine. It's fine. So basically, yeah, this first tab is kind of just stuff that's like gathered over time. At least the pages are organized though. Look, all these god pages for the god books. That's quite nice. Yeah, it's just a lot of just stuff that I've come across. Like ham outfits from doing easy clues. Vital sparks, those are quite good. Should probably be somewhere else in the bank, but it's fine. A bunch of loot, dinosaur roars, just loot and more loot. Some of this boss loot should be in the boss tab really, but it's fine. Actually a lot of it should be in the boss tab. I should have organized this. But yeah, so just some like random stuff here, nothing particularly crazy as far as I'm aware. The juicy stuff comes a little bit later, kind of as we get around to this section, I guess, which again, like the Zuck swords, which I have quite a few of actually. I was very lucky there. They really should be somewhere else, but it's okay. A bunch of alchemist keys, or whatever, a bunch of anima as well, just floating around. Yeah, it's kind of all sorts. The Revenant grind, very real, very much around here. But yeah, as you can see, a bit of a junk tab, and just like some random boss stuff thrown in. A lot of Zami loot as well, like 1900 rare relics, 25,000 ultra compost thingies, some chaos roars, some codex of lost knowledge. It's all there. It really should be in the actual loot tab, but we'll get to that later. We've got the corp grind for the elixirs as well. That's there. Also got my Zami bowstrings in here as well, which really should be also in the gear tab, but it's fine. In the loot tab, sorry. But it is what it is. But yeah, as you can see, tab 1, bit of a mishmash of just stuff, with a lot of like pretty cool things dotted about, but they, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And then we have a tab that is slightly more organized. We have the PVM tab, basically, or the runes and the gear tab, which is organized until about halfway down. So up here we have lots of runes. Water runes, obviously a bit of a struggle. They get used up quite fast. Same with the blood runes. They get used up quite fast as well, and astrals. But everything else is in rather lovely quantities, so that is fantastic. Very happy with that. Yeah, we'll have to do some more water rune crafting soon, unfortunately, but it is what it is. 19k viz, that's not bad. That'll last a long time, I think. A bit of food, mostly use rocktails for most things, and then blue blubbers for like AOD and solo necks, I think, are the two things I use those for. So yeah, I try and use them sparingly as they're a bit harder to get, but it is what it is. Got the Zuck Keep, of course, a grimoire with a lot of pages, because we are a bit of a Solak enthusiast. It's good fun to go fast. Then we have the very lovely Elite Tectonic, so yeah, Impatient Devoted perk, alongside Invig 4 and Hoarding to make death cost a bit cheaper. And then Biting Crystal Shield, which honestly I'm tempted to get Biting Mobile now with the dive change. But I am a big fan of Crystal Shield, so I'm a little bit torn. And then of course Crackling Relentless, Enhanced Blasty Boots, Inquisitor Staff, standard perks. Same with the FSO8 right next to it. It's the same perks on both of those. The Praiser Wand, which we can get Praiser Wands from AOD. Unfortunately, we cannot say the same for the Imperium Core. That's why we're still in the Seismic Singularity, but it is what it is. Got my Mercer Shield, very old stuff of Sliske that I should probably replace with something else in this line, but it's fine. Maybe the Arcane perhaps, I don't know. Oh, spoilers for later. Then like range gear. I've only got I've got an elite top that I realized I made a huge mistake because the death cost on this thing is disgusting. but I kind of used these for Elite Dungeons 2 and Elite Dungeons 3 a lot. That's why it's got Undead Slayer and Dragon Slayer on it, because they did a lot of Elite Dungeons with it, back when range was very much the meta. I don't know if I'll change this at some point. I'll make like a new set with different perks. I'm not sure, but I will. I'll do something with it. Bring it up to standard. Even though, I mean, this isn't bad. It's just I don't know if I still want those Slayer perks on it or not. Enhanced boots, and of course the Burr of Last Guardian. Very proud of that one. Took a long time to get, but we've got a couple now, which is nice. So Caroming 4 on that one. Good old trusty Saren God Bow, and then my Army of Blightbounds, which should be that way around. Yeah, precise 6 right there, and the Shadow Offhand, my one and only die. So I got that at like 70 hard clues, and I was like, oh, this is cool, I should get another die. And then I went 1100 more and I didn't get anything, so my one and only die on this account is a little Caroming switch, which is quite nice. I've got like an aftershock thingy and then a flanking thing that I've never used. I've kind of got a lot of Blightbounds. Of course, we have the vestments, best in slot melee armor, so I got some nice perks on this. The Impatient Devoted here, I got that first try, which was such a lifesaver. So that can be horrendous sometimes, but I got it first try, which is nice. But yeah, I've got 7 hoods and 9 boots. So a bit of a shoe shop, but it is what it is. And it's the standard perks on the top and legs, though, so that's all good. And I just realized I missed a line, didn't I? We have Trim Masterwork here, which I just got like Scavenging 4 and also Biting Genocidal. I thought was a good combo just for Slayer stuff. Lots of damage there. Masterwork Spear, Scythe with AoE perks, an Exekill that I need to augment still. I don't know why I haven't, but I ought to. I need to put, basically I need to put these perks in my Zaros Godsword onto the Exekill. That's what I have to do, but I just haven't got around to it for some reason. And of course the Leng Swords, those are pretty nice as well. There's an Abyssal Scourge somewhere, although it is down here, look, so I'd use that if I were to melee, but I haven't really used it ever, so maybe one day. And then of course you have the rune pouches, the standard stuff, just do normal runes on each one. I've got a Caroming Blightbound main hand, which I use exclusively for Solak, for Hydrix Greater Ricochet procs. Then here I've got a spare Wand of Appraisal and a Seismic Wand that now is redundant, but it still looks cool. Then down here we have the Crypt Bloom set. Well, I say set, missing the helm of course, but it is what it is. This one's got Demon Slayer on it to help at Zami. It's kind of perked up for Zamorak high and rage stuff, so it's pretty cool. Let's just spare Crypt if I ever need it there. Some spare legs too. Caroming Virtus Book for Mage, which I rarely use, but sometimes. And then Placeholder Eldritch, because it's in the Amulet, which we'll get onto in a second. Then just, yeah, all the rings, standard rings, Brooch of the Gods, Luck Ring, Grace Cell, you know, stuff like that. And EOFs, those are pretty lovely. We have a Saren God Bow in the blue one, Dark Bow in the black one, Eldritch Crossbow in the yellow one, Armored Battle Staff in the purple one, Guthic Staff, although sometimes I switch this one out because it's so cheap. So like for Zamorak, I use a Zamorak Staff. And I also use this for like my melee EOF if I want like a Dragon Halberd or something. Or yeah, I put it in here as well because it's such a cheap thing to switch around, which is quite nice. I've got my Dragon Claws in the red one, and Dragon 2H in a blank one, which I use for Rise of the Six to do like 3-second kills, which is pretty fun. And of course the pink Stat Hammer, that one took a while, didn't it? But we got there in the end. 66,000 revs for that one. Never again, please. And then here I've got a Staff of Light, which I used back when I was pushing to 4k Telos. I used that at like the Adren Crystals, but I don't really use that one anymore, so who knows. Got my Pernix Quiver as well. We have some Hydrix Bolts and some Dynaros in there, just because why not. We have down here, we have like all the Spirit Shields, so I only really used the Arcane one. I haven't like done anything with the others really. I used to use the Divine at Zami before I had an Arcane, but now I have an Arcane, so I use that one now. Very, very useful. And just the other stuff, you know, Masterwork, Incense Sticks, etc, etc. Then down here, this is when things get a bit messy, so we're probably gonna move on. But yeah, I don't know, I've got a bunch of stuff. You can pause the video if you want to. Look about that. 254 very wild sacks. Just hoping they're gonna do a buff because that Onyx core thing is far too rare for what it is. But who knows? Who knows? I'm just holding out and hoping, but not really expecting at this point. But we'll see. And then yeah, just some random loot and stuff, which again should be in the loot tab, but isn't. So a bit unfortunate. Maybe one day I'll move it to the correct place. Then next tab we have potions, herbs and potions. So like almost all these herbs were farmed like before the seed update, when you can get them from bosses, which is quite nice. And now you've got to be a bit of a farmer if you want a stack like this. So I'm definitely kind of glad that I got some early, which was nice. But yeah. And I must say, it's not particularly well organized, as you can probably tell. Chronological order has kind of taken over again. But I guess the highlights are a bunch of summoning potions. Those are all from Mazcat, actually. A bunch of Sara Brews, a few restores, loads of primal extract, some vitality pods, a bunch of foam bombs, some overload salves, which I need to get more of, but that's for another day. A few adrenaline renewals, which again need to get more of, and yeah, got some elder overloads. I've got like 1,000 in total, I think, of elder overloads. I need to make some more salves, ideally. But yeah, not too much else to report. Just a bit of a mess, but you know, it's my mess, and that's okay. Yeah, I also farmed like 10,000 Lantidimes for the points for the farming update, because they're pretty good. You get like 400 points for 10, and I've got like 1,000,000 seeds, so... And by 1,000,000 I mean 20,000, but still. Yeah. Just lots of supplies just dotted around, not very well organized. Then here we have the salvage tab and the stone spirit tab. This is just where the salvage and the spirits goes. Cool stuff, I guess, is nearly 200,000 dark spirits. That's kind of insane. A few light ones, a bunch of Banite ones, and then just whatever else. So that's that, basically. And probably be whizzing through these next few tabs. This was just like a summoning tab, at least it was, until whatever the hell this is took over. Yeah, just a few Caldemons, a few Ripper Demons up there, a few Nihils as well for Virago, and a bunch of binding contracts, which we'll make at some point. But that's a job for future me. And then here, the Big Game Hunter tab, which used to be bigger, but I had to trim it down for bank space, unfortunately. But yeah, just a few dinosaurs, a bunch of Matox, and you know, hides, bones, whatever else. Then this one, the Archaeology tab, but also doubles as my boss pet tab, which I've got a lot of boss pets saved up. We've got like the Archglacial pet, Corp pet, Vindictor, Dagonoth King, Greg, Helwit, Calfight Queen, Mole, Nex, Beastmaster, King Black Dragon, Armadillo, one of the twins pets, don't know the other one, Carapax Mask, Sara or Zilly, and Grador, and then yeah, like my placeholders of some other pets that I've got recently, which I've already claimed, but I kept the placeholders because they're kind of cool. So we'll, you know, got a few there, which are quite nice. And now for the big one. This is the pride and joy, I suppose. The big old loot tab. Although obviously a lot of the stuff is dotted around elsewhere as well, which is a bit awkward. But yeah, the cool stuff at the top. We have some very old placeholders of the intricate blood chest and ice chest, and also greater chain. That one took me a long time to get that one, so this is quite nice. We have 4 greater ricochets, 7 entire orb sets with 6 staffs, 3 bows, and 0 swords. Because I've only ever had 1 sword on this account, but I've got loads of the other stuff. And there's my lowly Shadow Die placeholder from ages ago. And then we have, yeah, lots of Onyx, like 1700. That is largely from Zamorak. It is very OP for Onyxes. And same with those rare relics as well. A bunch of Tectonic Energy from all the Raga we've done. Malevolent Energy is for all the Rots we've done recently. Serenic Scales, largely from Zamorak Release as well. They were basically there instead of blood runes now, and they dropped like 15 every kill. So yeah, they have probably crashed down forever and ever. And then after that, we just have some Eldritch pieces that are now placeholders, a bunch of Triskelion keys, some rag stuff, a bunch of gems, loads of Dragonstones actually. Almost got a white stack of those. That's kind of cool actually. Have to look forward to that. Talismans, loads of water stuff, which is pretty nifty. And then next to that we've got Onyx Bolts, which is a rather insane amount. 69,000. A bunch of sentries as well, and then these, look at these tips again, largely from Zamorak, but it's so OP. Like 500,000 Onyx tips, 300,000 Hydrix tips, it's crazy. Along with 158k Rocktails as well, which maybe one day they'll get cooked, but probably not. A full invent of Mazcab, and yeah, only 6 Praetor Codex drops. I have had 30 in total, but a lot of them I've had to transfer to my main account for various reasons, mostly for funds for stuff like Premier membership, but yeah, those are what, like 600 and something mil each, so yeah, it's would have had 100 bill total if it wasn't for all that, but it's fine. And here I got a bit of energy, like some incans, 80k, not too bad. Loads of black d'hide, bunch of royal as well, so that's not bad. A spare greater conch, could divert, the regular stuff. A bunch of magic logs as well, they come from basically everywhere, don't they? And loads of Wines of Sara, that's also from the Solak that we've been doing, which is super cool. Loads of Zami stuff, bunch of pure essence, some threads, loads of crystal keys. My Blurberry special, got that from a Seren Spirit, lucky me. 2/3 of the Penny Pet. Bunch of God Wars 2 stuff, bunch of Infernal Ashes, some Legio keys, Greater Fury, keys to the Crossing, which I need more of for the boss pet, but we'll get that one day. And then what else do we have? Just some like raw food and stuff, nothing particularly exciting down here, I don't think. 10 Visages, some Barrow stuff, and yeah, it gets kind of messy at this point, you can probably tell. 12 plate, quite nice, I guess. But yeah, that is about it. There's just some stuff that's just sitting around, isn't there? Just a lot of stuff. But yeah, if only I was more organized. Maybe I need to pay someone to organize my bank for me. Maybe that's the play. But yeah, at least it's like nice and neat up to like here basically. So it could be worse. But yeah, that is essentially the bank, and apparently all of that together, it does in fact equal 92 bill. Who'd have thought? But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the bank video. Many more drops to come, hopefully, and maybe a bit more organization for the next one. That could be a good idea, couldn't it? But it works. The search feature is OP, so I use that quite a lot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Just have a little scroll through the bank here if you didn't see anything that you're curious about. But at least most of the cool stuff is like at the top of each tab, for the most part anyway, apart from tab 1, which is a bit weird, but yeah. I'm probably going to get flamed for my organization in the comments, aren't I? It's okay. I don't mind. Flame away. But either way, guys, hope you enjoyed this bank video. Hope you've had a good year. And I guess in a year's time, maybe we'll do another one. And maybe it'll be organized by then. So yeah, thank you for watching. And I will see you again real soon. So yeah, have a good New Year's.